Check, 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 check. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? Let's see, let me check on my phone just to make sure. Check, 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 check. All right, cool. All right. Pull up. Check, check. Very cool. All right, bet. Welcome to the stream, y'all. This is actually my first. Fantasy football stream. So thank y'all for tuning in. For all 6 of you who are here, I got my chat pulled up right here, and also on my phone through YouTube Studio right here, and then on my phone just to check and see if the audio is working. How's it going with everybody today? Anybody can type in the chat. If not, that's fine. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off with, so the objective for today is to do both the QB rankings and the running back rankings, and I'll answer any questions of what anybody wants to ask any questions. I'll answer those about any type of fantasy football, and let's go ahead and get started. All right, here we go. All right, S tier. S tier is very prestigious to me. I don't think very many quarterbacks are S tier anymore because of injuries or weapons have been lost. So one of my first S tier players that I'd probably put up there would be obviously my number one S tier. Oh yeah, okay. Another thing too, with S, A, B, C, and D tier, I'm going to rank them based off of their tier, but also I'll put whichever one that I think is the best to the worst in each tier from front, from like left to right. So the left would be the best one I think, and the right would be the worst one. So I'm gonna go. Josh Allen's gonna be S tier. He's got DJ Moore. He's got almost all of his guys returning. He still has a really good run game, and he also has legs, which is really good. If you're going to run full PPR, and with the quarterbacks, if you have a quarterback like built league where your quarterback score a lot, he would be one of the higher draft picks that I would actually do and actually recommend. But if you don't have that type of thing, I would still draft him possibly first round, but it'd be kind of later in the first round if you would do it. But me personally, I don't ever recommend to draft in the first round with any type of quarterback. But if there is one, I'd go Josh Allen. All right, so the next guy on S tier would probably be, and this is all if that everybody can stay healthy. Like most of these guys are healthy right now, so I'm ranking them based off if they're healthy, based off of talent and what they could do, and also the weapons that they do have. For me, I think, if I'm being honest, I think Lamar will probably be my second S tier player. Lamar, he doesn't have the best weapons in the world, but he still has the legs. And I feel like he's still going to be able to run the ball. He's still going to be able to pass the ball. He's still got Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, Zay Flowers. His run game, he's got Derrick Henry, so people can't just sit back and then wait on him to throw the ball. I think that's really good about Lamar Jackson. So I got him ranked 2. Rank 3, it might be a little bit controversial, but I'm going Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow's gonna have a really big bounce back year. I think that Joe Burrow is gonna probably, if I'm being honest, he might be the number one quarterback in fantasy football by the end of the whole year. Just because of the firepower he's got with Chase Brown. He can catch the ball in the backfield. He can also run pretty well. Joe Burrow can still take off. He doesn't do that as much anymore because of all of the injuries that he's had, but he still has a lot of weapons. Like he has the T. Higgins, he has Ja'Marr Chase, which is a former Triple Crown winner. And bro, he's just got everything. He's got one of the best arms in the league. And if he can stay healthy, he's one of the guys to really look out for. Actually, I ain't gonna lie. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say I'd put him second in the S tier, but Lamar does have better legs than he does. And that actually means a lot when that you're trying to have a quarterback that can be more of a dual threat. I don't think Joe Burrow's gonna run that much, but I think his arm is way better than Lamar Jackson's. Another S tier. I don't know. Let me see. I don't know if Stafford. I don't know if Stafford would be S tier. He might be S tier because of all the weapons he has and the running backs and like the way they throw the ball so much. But then again, like I don't know if he's going to actually be able to throw the rock as much as he did last year and have that much success. I will say that if that Aaron Donald does come back, he could have a lot more opportunities to actually throw the ball and get more offensive reps to actually do things more. So I don't know. I think these three guys are definitely S tier for me. Who else we got on the list? Jalen Hurts, I don't think he's S tier this year. Drake May, he might be S tier, but I don't really know. Patrick Mahomes is not S tier anymore. I just don't think he's S tier anymore, man. Especially after that injury. Controversial, but hey, I'm put Drake May up here. I'll put Drake May as the last S tier player. I truly believe with him getting AJ Brown, with him getting Romeo Dobbs, I think they'll be a elite offense. And they also have the two-headed monster in the backfield with TreVeyon Henderson and Rhamondre Stevenson. So I think that'll help out too. With they won't have to like throw the ball every down. They'll be able to spread it out. TreVeyon Henderson catch out of the backfield. Rhamondre Stevenson can kind of do dibble dabble, but I think the amount of weapons that they added and also the weapons that they still have from last year and what season Drake May had last year, I think he'll go crazy. So I got him as my last S tier player, but you kind of got to check on it because AJ Brown could be with his little bitty diva stuff and not like the ball being thrown to him enough or something like that, how he did with the Eagles, and he might have a little bit of turmoil in that way. But for right now, Drake May is definitely S tier. And also, sneaky factor about him too, he can use his legs. That's also why I have him in S tier too. All right, now A tier. I'm going to go Matthew Stafford as my first A tier guy. I think he still has that ability to reach his way into S tier if he still has the juice left. Last year, he just came off with MVP. But the Rams did draft a quarterback in Ty Simpson, which I think is kind of crazy to me because Ty Simpson is just not that good. To me personally, I thought that he was just more of a QB game manager type of quarterback instead of like a really good talent who should have been first round. But that's what the Rams did. I felt like they should have went receiver if they actually did want to get rid of Davante Adams. But I'm glad that they didn't get rid of Davante Adams because I think that's going to be one of their glue guys. If that Puka Nacua doesn't get his actual like peak of where he's supposed to be, you can default straight to Davante Adams. But I think both Puka Nacua and Davante Adams are still going to be the same type of guys. And I don't see anything wrong with the Rams offense to where there would be any type of drop down. I think Madison might not have that same MVP type of season that he had, but he'll be really good, which I think why he'll be A tier. See. Another guy for A tier. I'm gonna go. Let's see. Bo Nix does have Jalen Waddle. Washington Commanders just got. I don't know about Jaden Daniels after those 2 injuries he had throughout the season. Really don't know, man. I'm kind of stooped here. If there anybody else could be A tier. I'm talking about fantasy football points reason, not like just their talent. What do y'all think? Who else y'all think should be up here in the top of A tier? I do not know, man. I do not know. I don't know if anybody else is really ranked of A tier. Because Bo Nix is coming off an injury. Patrick Mahomes is coming off an injury. I feel like Brock Purdy. I don't know. Let's go Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy does still have CMC. He still has George Kittle. He just got Mike Evans. Deebo Samuel's back. Even though I think both those guys are older and past their prime, it's still weapons to throw to. And for some reason, it doesn't matter who you put back there with Brock Purdy, he gets his stats. Like he's going to get his yards. He's going to get his touchdowns. CMC catches the ball very well. He gets a bunch of receiving touchdowns every year and catches and yards and things like that. So I feel like he's probably worthy of the A tier also. And then I think Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts still has his legs. They still design QB runs, QB sneaks when they're on the goal line. He poaches the touchdowns in that way. I don't know. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I can do Jalen Hurts, man. I think he might have a bounce back year, but I don't think A tier though. I don't know, man. I think I'm about to drop back on that. Let's see. A tier quarterbacks. Shoot. A tier quarterback. Let's go Justin Herbert. I'll go Justin Herbert next. I think for A tier quarterbacks, Justin Herbert probably fits the best because he's been around those receivers like Ladd, like Quentin Johnson, and I just feel like he still has that running ability where he can take off. So I think he's probably A tier also. I know Dak probably isn't the best guy if you're thinking about winning football games and trying to make it deep into the playoffs. But I feel like the offensive production for him is going to be really high because he does have George Pickens, he does have CeeDee Lamb, and he's got some really good weapons around him. He's got Williams as his running back, who's really good with running the ball, so they won't be stacking the box up or dropping back too heavy on each side. I think they've got to play them more balanced. Got a lot of weapons in that way. But I think Dak always has really good years, and I feel like this year would be another good year with what's his name? Let's see. Let me take this headset off. I don't even need it today. But yeah, I feel like Dak will have a pretty good year this year with George Pickens having his contract here and him kind of like holding out, trying to prove that he needs that contract. But I feel like Dak will be that type of guy. This might be a little bit of a wild one, but I think I'm starting off B tier with Caleb Williams. I think Caleb Williams, he's came a long way. The completion percentage still is not there fully, but I truly do believe that he can have a great year fantasy-wise because he gets the rushing touchdowns. He can extend plays. He's got a really good deep arm. He's got decent accuracy when he's on. When he's off, he's bad, but that really doesn't matter when it comes down to touchdowns and passing yards. Wins and losses, that's all cool. I feel like the Bears' defense will be pretty good based off how they were last year too, but sometimes they did give up the lead, and Caleb Williams had to march back, and it will force them to throw the ball a lot more. And I do feel like Luther Burden will have a really good year this year, so watch out for him too with the wide receiver rankings that I'm going to put out later on. Probably either tomorrow or the next day. I don't know which one, but it might be tomorrow. Might put out the wide receiver rankings, the tight end rankings, and the kicker and special teams rankings / defense. But Caleb Williams, I think he'll have a pretty good year. I wouldn't draft him too high just because of his completion percentage, and he might be riding the high of last year and him being on the cover too. That might get to his head just a little bit, but I do have faith in him. When he was back last year, I ain't gonna lie, when I first started out, I didn't think he was going to be that good, but he actually proved me wrong. The next guy I'm going to do, I'm going to go with Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love is probably... I think Jordan Love has proven that he can be a fantasy quarterback and he can score the touchdowns with pretty much anybody because, I mean, his receiving core is decent, but it's not, like, great. So, I don't really know. Audio good? Audio good? Yeah, okay, cool. But yeah, his receiving core has never been like amazing, and I've been impressed with what he's been able to do with the little that he does have. So I think Jordan Love is a really good option if you want to use him. But then again, I don't like drafting quarterbacks high, so don't think this is meaning like draft a QB high. It's just where I'm going to rank them at. Let's see. Next, let's go. Let's see. Let's go Jared Goff. Jared Goff still has Jay Will. He's still got Amon St. Brown. He's got Laporta. He's got Gibbs and all those guys. A really good receiving core. And with Gibbs coming off of his contract, and also with David Montgomery leaving, I feel like that's really big too. Because Gibbs is going to be in the field a lot more. I know they do have Isaiah Pacheco, but he's not really a receiving threat. I feel like Gibbs is going to have the ball a lot because they just got done paying him. And they already have an amazing receiving core, and they got one of the best tight ends in the world, pretty much in the world, with Sam Laporta. So I think that's really good about it too. So I'm going to put him in B tier. Next, I'm going to go... Let's go Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, he still has the legs. He can still run. It's just the weapons that he has now. He's got Mekhi Lemon, which is a new guy. I think he'll be pretty good in his first season. But the main guy I think who's going to step up this year is going to be Devontae Smith. I feel like he's going to do really good. And I feel like they're going to have a lot more come out of Jalen Hurts this year if they're going to win games. And I feel like he's going to be a stat padding guy. He's going to have to pretty much do it all because he doesn't have that A.J. Brown anymore. He's going to have to work with a rookie receiver and he's going to work with Devontae Smith, who is not always used to, at least in the NFL so far, being the number one guy with not having AJ Brown. That's why I think he dropped from A tier to B tier for me, is because he doesn't have AJ Brown anymore, but he also has the rushing ability to where he can get those points from there too. I think, honestly, Jaden Daniels is also B tier. He just got Diggs. He still has Terry McLaurin. He's got Luke McCaffrey still there. Running backs, it's a little shaky there. That's why I think they're going to have to pass more. The O-line is not that great, but it's not the worst. And Jaden Daniels still can run. I think he'll dial his running ability back a little bit this year, just because I don't believe he's going to be running around as much as he did last year when he fell on his arm and it looked like it broke, but it actually came out that he dislocated it and he came back later on in the season. Then he tweaked another injury that ended the season. But I think this year he'll be back. He's got a couple more weapons. I know he lost Zach Ertz, which is a big hit, but I feel like tight ends are tight ends. If you don't have one of the top, like a Brock Bowers or a Trey McBride or something like that, it doesn't really matter. So I feel like he has a really good core. He still has the arm talent to me. The injuries is not as serious as I think it will be, but I think he is a B tier quality type of quarterback that could end up being A tier if he can get into his groove and be healthy, and depending on how the style of play calling is going to be. Next, let's go Trevor Lawrence. With Trevor Lawrence, I honestly believe I'm in a keeper league redraft. I draft 10th. Should I keep Olave for 7th pick, Purdy for 8th pick, Jay Will for 11th pick, or Monty for 6th pick? Olave for your 7th pick. You draft 10th. Let's see, you draft 10th. So you're asking me what type of league you're in. Are you in full PPR or half PPR? Because if it's full PPR, Olave is a really good pick. But I don't think Olave's first round for your 10th pick. Like your 7th pick, like 7th round, or because you said 10th pick, you draft 10th, so that would be 7th round, right? Your 7th pick in total. Because I think if you're full PPR, I think, yeah, my 7th round. All right, cool. So, but are you full PPR or are you half PPR? Because if you're full PPR, 7th round is a crazy good steal with Chris Olave. I know that some people don't like Tyler Show because, you know, his college stuff, but I truly do believe Chris Olave is a guy that he loves a lot. I just kind of need to know, are you full or half PPR? I haven't seen you type full or half yet, so I'll just give you my opinion based off of each. If you're full PPR, I think you should go for keep Olave as your 7th round pick. That's a great value. Your 8th round pick for Brock Purdy, that's a good value too. Either way. Javonte Williams. If you're full PPR or half PPR, I don't think it really matters because Javonte Williams is more of a running guy. But I feel like 7th round is a great value for Javonte Williams. I think he'll have another big year. And with Monty for your 6th round, what do you mean by Monty? Monty, let's see, who would be Monty? David Montgomery. I think it's half and David Montgomery. Okay. David Montgomery in the 6th round. Ah. David Montgomery 6th round. I feel like with David Montgomery being on the Texans, I think that's his backfield to hold. I think they're going to give him a lot of carries. I don't I don't believe Joe Mixon is coming back. I truly don't. So if you go 6th round, 6th round, David Montgomery. And if you're going half PPR, that would actually be pretty decent. But I also don't know the context of like who else do you have on your team? Like like what does your team look like? Receivers, how's your receivers like? I know Chris Olave 7th round pick, dude, that's great. 7th round pick value is really good. Brock Purdy for the 8th round is amazing. Devontae Williams for 11th is even like that's out of this world value. Like keep that one. I don't know how he even dropped that low in that draft. Because no one else is going to contest Javonte Williams in the backfield for Dallas, really. And also, when it gets down to red zone, I don't believe they're going to just be chunking the ball in the red zone. I think they're going to try to punch it in with the run game. Another thing, too, with David Montgomery is that he actually is going to have to be a big carrier because of the state of the offense with CJ Stroud, because they don't really know which CJ Stroud that they're going to get back. Because I think I'll rank CJ Stroud pretty low just because of his past 2 years and what he's doing. Let me see. Who else would be in B tier? I got Trevor Lawrence as that guy. I know Bo Nix coming off the injury. Pat's coming off the injury. Kyler Murray, I don't trust. You get to pick a player you had last year, and I drafted Javonte Williams in the 11th last year. So I would get him this year for my 11th round pick. Do it. Run it. Run that. 11th round pick last year and this year? That's great. Amazing value. You hit the nail. I'm dead serious. I think highly of Javonte Williams just because of like, man, like he was a big reason why they scored touchdowns in the red zone last year because of CeeDee Lamb's drops, people covering Pickens in the freaking end zone, like blanketing all the guys, Dak not being able to fit it in certain windows once he gets down in the red zone. Oh, you're saying you can only pick one for the redraft. Okay, cool. Javonte Williams or Olave? If it's half PPR, I'd go Javonte Williams. Straight up. 11th round pick is insane, man. Like 11th round pick is insane. Olave is good, but I don't really know who else you have at receiver to counter like why you should pick Olave or Javonte Williams. But if I'm going based off of just face value, I'd go Javonte Williams. But if you're weak at receiver, go Chris Olave. All right, we got him. B tier. If I'm being honest with y'all, I don't believe Baker's gonna have that great of a year. He lost Mike Evans. He hasn't got paid. I know he might be a little bit like aggressive this year with what he's wanting to do, but I just don't know about that. I will go Bo Nix because he does have the legs to run. Bo Nix just got Jalen Waddle also added. They still have Courtland Sutton. They've got a lot of good weapons. They still have a good dual threat running back core. I know the injury is a little bit scary based off is he going to be the same with his legs, but he showed last year that he can throw it. And I just believe that he's going to be a B tier type of quarterback. I wouldn't be like desperate over him, but if you can get him kind of like a little bit, if he falls in your draft, pick him. Let's go Jackson Dart for B tier. I think that Jackson Dart has a lot of talent. I think he has a lot of talent around him too. But at the same time, he does get injured a lot. So I wouldn't really count on Jackson Dart staying healthy as much if he doesn't understand to get out of bounds. Jackson Dart, I think he'll be B tier too. Because he still runs, just he needs to understand how to get out. Let's see. Patrick Mahomes is B tier to me. I think he's still B tier even after the injury. But at the same time, is he going to be the same? And also, his weapons are dwindling down every year. And I also feel like Rice is not going to be in the league much longer because of the stuff he's doing off the field. I'll put Baker B tier. I think he'll still have a decent year, but I don't think he'll have the year that some people are saying that he'll have. He lost Mike Evans. He still has Chris Godwin, but I think he's going to be a shell of himself. Baker's still a dog. Like, he can still get his points, but I don't believe he'll have that same year he had last year where he was just balling out for the first half of the year. But the second half of the year, he did fall off significantly with his accuracy of throwing to people. So Tyler Show showed a lot of ability with the guys that he had. He actually showed that he is a starting quarterback in the league. Don't have much to say about him because he still has to prove things, but I do still think he is B tier. Daniel Jones, also B tier. I don't think he's C tier yet, but he did lose some value because he lost Michael Pittman. But he still does have Tyler Warren. He still has Josh Downs. He still has, what's his name? Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce is hurt. He's recovering from his surgery he had I think it was like May. I think it was a little bit after the season. He had his surgery on his ankle or his heel. But they said that they're hopeful that he'll be back for week 1. But kind of like think of it more, he'll be back in between the week 1 to week 3. Possibly. But me personally, I haven't heard of the whole inside story of it. But I still do think Daniel Jones will have a good year because he will have Jonathan Taylor in his backfield. And that will put some pressure off of him to be just a man and try to throw it everywhere. But I feel like they still will have to throw the ball. That's why he is B tier, and he does have a decent amount of talent around him, even though he did lose Michael Pittman. And then here we go. I think now we're going to start off with the C tier guys. I think. Oh, wait a minute. I completely forgot about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, for me personally, he's probably in between Jaden Daniels and Trevor Lawrence. I truly believe if I keep Javonte Williams, what would you draft running back at 10, the running back again for turnaround pick and running back stack, or would you draft Josh Allen if available at an receiver? So if you keep Javonte Williams, draft the running back at 10, running back again for the turnaround. So you would running back stack, or would you draft Josh Allen if available at wide receiver? Like, what are you trying to say? What round are you trying to draft Josh Allen? Because I get what you're saying about the draft Javonte Williams, but turn around and then draft another running back to stack it. But with the Josh Allen, what are you trying to say about it though? All right, until he tells me which one he wants for the Josh Allen and the. Also, let me know what other running back would you think about trying to get. I know you can't predict the future, but like, what else would you try to get? But first of all, explain me the Josh Allen thing. Like, what round would you think he would be available? Are you saying like the round available for the 10th round? Because I don't think he'd be available 10th round. So if I would draft Allen for my 10th pick, then my next pick would be a receiver, or should I draft two running backs and build a stack with your 10th pick? Okay, so all right. If you're half PPR, quarterback is going to be important. And Josh Allen is crazy. If Josh Allen is there at your 10th pick, I'd go Josh Allen. But let's say if like you're at the 10th pick, right, and you got a running back who you know is going to get a lot of carries and a lot of touches, like a lot of touchdowns, and they still catch it. Like if you go, Bijan is definitely going to be off the board. Gibbs is going to be off the board. CMC could be off the board. But if somebody like a CMC is there, or even like a Jonathan Taylor, for me, if I'm 10th pick and I got another guy, I'd go Josh Allen, and then it all depends on who's going to be there at running back. Look, let me do this. Let me get through the quarterback rankings. I'm going to get to the running back rankings, and then I'll give you my final answer on that. So you would have the 10th pick with having Javonte Williams already. Okay, so if you're getting the redraft with the Javonte Williams as your 11th pick, ooh, you're thinking James Cook, Henry, Brown, those type of running backs. Dude, if you can get okay, look, this is what I'll say. With you already having Javonte Williams at your running back, and we're talking about, I like the Cook and Derrick Henry thing a lot. Because I had Cook last year. But I got Cook around like the 3rd round. But I know that value is not that anymore. Derrick Henry is a high pick too. But I like the thinking of the Josh Allen and receiver. If you'll have Javonte Williams still there. But it is half PPR. So the receiver's not as important, but it kind of is because you're still going by yardage. So, let me get to the quarterbacks, and then I'll give you my final answer after that, because I think Josh Allen's the best guy out of all of them. So I'd probably lean towards the Josh Allen route if you already have Javonte Williams for the Dallas Cowboys. All right, so... But yeah, I feel like Sam Darnold will have a really good year. That's another underrated guy. I don't believe he'll have the same year they had last year because, I mean, he did lose Kenneth Walker. So that same run game is not going to be there. So he's going to have to throw the ball a lot, and people aren't going to respect the run game as much. And then, let's see. Right here. Let's see. Let's go C tier. I still think CJ Stroud is better than the rest of these guys here. But I think he'll have a shaky year. Oh, I missed Bryce Young. Bryce Young is B tier. Not even gonna lie to you, right? Bryce Young is B tier for me because just because they throw the ball a decent amount and they still have weapons and they added some more. So, and also they do have Chuba Hubbard, who's going to be their main running back now, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield well too. But C tier, I'm going to go CJ Stroud. I'm very, very iffy on CJ Stroud. He could be good or he could be bad. There's really no in between for him almost ever. He has a really good game or he has a horrible game. That's why I'm putting him C tier. Because I just don't know about him, but I do not believe he is a D tier yet. Malik Willis, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is probably C tier just because he has Justin Jefferson. And also he has Jordan Addison. He's got Aaron Jones. Even though he's a little bit older, he can still catch the ball out of the backfield. So Kyler Murray. Also keep an eye on him because if he does start playing bad, he could lose his starting job. So I wouldn't draft him high. I wouldn't draft CJ Stroud high either. Either one of those guys. Especially after the season that they had last year and Kyler Murray losing his starting job to Jacoby Brissett. Cam Ward, I'll put him C tier. But I actually put him over Kyler Murray. And I'll put him over CJ Stroud. Cam Ward just has a really bad team. I feel like Cam Ward doesn't have the right O-line in front of him, but they have given him Cardell Tate in the draft. They still have Calvin Ridley, and they have a few other guys out there that can run routes that's actually pretty decent. He has the arm talent. He has the creativity to run around and extend the play, but I still do believe that their offense is really bad based off their O-line and their run game. And I don't think they have the right personnel, and that reason is why I have him at C tier with blocking for him. He's going to be running for his life, I still think, this year. I do think he does have the arm talent. That's why he is C tier. He could possibly go into B tier at some point. But I do think he will hang around C tier for at least right now. And next, I'm gonna go Aaron Rodgers actually at C tier above these two. Because I believe he is getting older. The arm talent is going away. The arm strength is going away. He can't run at all anymore. Like, he can't really move at all. I've seen some of the training camp footage. It's not good. So, I would not draft Aaron Rodgers high. I know he has Michael Pittman new. He still has DK Metcalf. And he's got a lot more weapons this year. But I still don't believe in the offense. I know Mike McCarthy just got there, and he'll be a great kind of like overshadowing head coach of the offense, and they're familiar with each other. But at the same time, I would not try to put Aaron Rodgers crazy high. Aaron Rodgers could go up to B tier if Mike McCarthy can bring some of that magic back, but I just don't trust in it. And Aaron Rodgers is actually one of my favorite players of all time. But I also do know he's over 40 years old, and 40-year-olds usually don't get better, they get worse. I feel like Jacoby Brissett's probably a C tier also. Last year, he had a bunch of yards. He could throw for touchdowns. He was coming from behind a lot. I think that's going to be another part of the same thing this year. They're going to be coming from behind a lot. Are you drafting J.J. McCarthy first round? No, I'm not. J.J. McCarthy just lost his starting job to Kyler Murray, which is kind of embarrassing because Kyler Murray's what, like 5'11", maybe 5'10". I think he's probably more closer to 5'10", and he lost his job to Jacoby Brissett. So I wouldn't trust. Yeah, I think you're just trolling, buddy. I ain't gonna lie. Armani, I think you're just trolling, bro. JJ McCarthy shouldn't even be drafted. He will be a free agent. And Kyler Murray should be very low in your drafting too. Like very late, because he doesn't even have the job security at all. But on Jacoby Brissett, he's over these two also. He can get the yardage. He can get the touchdowns. His team is going to be bad. They're going to be one of the worst in the league, I think, still. He still does have Michael Wilson. He has Marvin Harrison Jr. He still has Trey McBride, which is, I think, the best quarterback, the best tight end in the league next to Brock Bowers. So he'll have a lot of weapons. They are in a contract dispute, so I don't know how that's going to work. But I feel like he's going to play his heart out to try to get another contract. What about Drew Lock? I don't even think Drew Lock's even a second-string quarterback. I think it might be third-string quarterback somewhere where I don't even know if he's even still in the league. Drew Lock's horrible. And now I ain't lie, we're going to D tier now, boys. Straight to D tier. If I'm being honest, go Kirk, Shador, I ain't gonna lie. Malik Willis. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Malik Willis is definitely over these two. Then I'm going whoever the Falcons quarterback is and Geno. Geno's the last guy. I literally just heard that he threw 3 picks in the camp going head to head with a different team. And he does not have a good day. He's a turnover machine, and the Jets are already horrible. The Atlanta quarterback, don't know who it's going to be, but I don't believe in either one of them, and I'm a Falcons fan. Shador, he hasn't won the starting job yet, but he is good. Who am I starting week 1? Drake May or Jordan Love? Drake May all the way. Dead serious. Go Drake May. He's an S-tier type of quarterback. Start him. Start him every week. Don't ever take him out. Start him every week. If you got him on your team, start him. Jordan Love is an afterthought. He does not have nowhere near the amount of weapons. He doesn't have nowhere near the amount of, like, talent to me personally. I think Drake May is more talented than him. He has more talent around him, too, with A.J. Brown, with Romeo Doubs, and all the rest of the guys that are there with him. He still has 2 good running backs with him. He has a great coach in Mike Vrabel. And I feel like Drake May will have another great season. He might even be one of the MVP candidates with the addition of A.J. Brown. Jordan Love is good too. So it's good to have him there. Like, he is good. I just think Drake May holds up in fantasy football world a special place. This is a Super Bowl champ. That is a... Wait, what? Who was a Super Bowl champ? You're talking about Drew Lock? You talking about Drake May just lost the Super Bowl and he didn't play good. Jordan Love's never even been close. JJ's trash. Well, I ain't gonna lie. I won't say JJ's trash. Oh, Drew Lock? You funny, man. Drew Lock is not nowhere near the Super Bowl. I think he might touch a Super Bowl if he goes on the team with the Seahawks. If he goes back to the Seahawks, he can touch a Super Bowl. Wait, oh, Drew Lock was on the Seahawks. I just forgot that. Drew Lock was with the Seahawks. I'm glad you pointed out because I totally forgot he is on the Seahawks. Right? Let's see, Drew Lock. Look it up real quick. Drew Lock, Super Bowl. Yes, he's on the Seahawks. He won the championship with the Seahawks. Good looks. Yeah, that's wild. He is a Super Bowl champ. But with all the D tiers, this is self-explanatory. Don't start any of these guys. Malik Willis is a good talent that he's shown, but don't trust him. He doesn't have any weapons. They traded away Jalen Waddle. Name a guy who they have left. Can't name him. Do not touch any of these guys down here at all. They're all bad. Do you have Dak A tier because there's also weapons? Yes. And also, all right, so this about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott has the arm talent. He has the fantasy football pedigree. He can put up stats. He can put up touchdowns. That's what you want. We're not talking about winning games. Dak is A tier based off of his weapons. If he didn't have as many weapons, he'd be B tier. Dak is really good. But I put him there just because of his weapons that he has. He has really good tight ends. He has great receivers. He has 2 number 1 freaking receivers on his team. He has a great freaking running back who can run the ball really well. Lamar Jackson or Matthew Stafford? I'm going Lamar. I'm going Lamar just because he's a dual threat. He can run the ball, and he's proven he can pass the ball very well. And when we're talking about fantasy football, we're talking about stats, and Lamar can put up the stats, and he gets the touchdowns. I think he will run a lot more this year based off from last year. Just because of that last year, he was banged up with injuries all the time. And he's had a whole full offseason to get back healthy. I think he'll be, like I said, one of the top four quarterbacks in the whole league. He has exactly what it takes. Tucker Kraft or Coastal Loveland? Tucker Kraft or Coastal Loveland? Okay. I will say this. Tucker Kraft is coming off of a really bad injury. But Tucker Kraft is really good. And with them losing Romeo Doubs, he will be pushed into more of a prominent role if he can come back and be the same guy. But with Coastal Loveland, with DJ Moore leaving, Coastal Loveland did not get hurt. And Caleb Wilson liked him a lot. I was in the championship game last year. I lost. But I was in the championship game. Brock Bowers was my starting running back. No, not my starting running back. My starting tight end. They took him out and said he couldn't play, put him on IR for my Super Bowl game. And I put in Coastal Loveland. He dropped for me like 22. So he helped me in that way. And I really do believe with DJ Moore gone, Coastal Loveland will be put up into one of the... He'll be ranked high for me in the tight ends, and I think he has a slight edge over Tucker Kraft just because Tucker Kraft is coming off an injury, so I'd go Coastal Loveland. Me personally. But all right, so here are the quarterback tiers. I'm going to stick around for the quarterback tier for maybe like a few more minutes if y'all have any more questions about maybe who to start or anything like that. But A tier, these 4 guys are locks. If you can get these guys right here in first, second round, I feel like they'll be here first, second round if you're in half PPR. If you're in full PPR, go more heavy towards receivers and running backs that can catch the ball and run. Based off like low risk guys that should be first round automatically. I think me personally, first 2 picks, Bijan Robinson, Gibbs. First 2 guys who can catch and run. Christian McCaffrey, another guy who catch and run, but he does have injury history, so he's a little bit of a decent risk. But if you're full PPR, go him. But if you're half PPR, if you can get one of these top 4 quarterbacks in the first 2 rounds, go them. Matthew Stafford, I think maybe somewhere around third if you're half PPR, full PPR. Matthew Stafford's still a good quarterback, but I think these 4 are locks. Thoughts about Tetairoa McMillan? I think he'll have a great year. I think him and Bryce Young have a really good connection. But I gotta see Bryce Young do it 2 years in a row. I've seen it for 1 year. He had some struggles in his first rookie season, and he's been doing better over the years. But I gotta see it 2 years in a row. But McMillan is a good guy to have on your team. But at the same time, you kind of do have to watch out for that offense because you never know with the Panthers. They could fall back to their old ways. But I think Bryce Young has kind of figured it out. They have a good system around him. They got good talent to catch the ball around him too. But Tetairoa McMillan, he is a really good guy. He would be a startable guy to me. I still don't think he's in that S tier kind of like category, but he is good. All right, running back core. Off the rip, we're going Bijan, we're going Gibbs. Those are my 2 S tier guys. Safest guys you can go, those would be number 1, number 2. Bijan and Gibbs. Bijan just got paid. Gibbs just got paid. They got paid now the 2 top highest paid running backs in the league, and they're going to be fed the ball a lot. So with Bijan, he will be pretty much taking almost every carry. Tyler Allgeier's gone. And with Tyler Allgeier gone, he'll take way more carries. He is the main receiving back, which is good for half or full PPR. Doesn't really matter. Now, if it's full PPR, amazing. Half PPR, Dirk Smith. What's up, man? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, like, these 2 guys, no-brainers. These are my only 2 S-tier guys I'm going to put up here. With Gibbs, too. With David Montgomery going to the Houston Texans. That's going to be a big key because, like, bro, like, y'all not going to understand. I know they have Isaiah Pacheco, but at the same time, Isaiah Pacheco is not David Montgomery. I think the split is going to be more like 80-20 with those 2 guys. The same thing with the Falcons. I think it'll be 80-20 split. These 2 guys are going to have the bulk, and they're going to be heavily inputted into their offense. For the next guys, I'm going to go A tier. We're going to go James Cook. I think he'll have a really great year like he did last year. He's going to be a big reason why that they're going to be winning. CMC will be my next guy. He does catch the ball. He does. I ain't going to lie. I can't do that. He's got to go with James Cook. I know people are scared about the whole injury thing, but me personally, I just can't see him being knocked down below James Cook because James Cook is not in the passing game as much. If you're going half PPR or full PPR, full PPR, I think Christian McCaffrey is borderline S tier. And also with their receiving core being so old with the 49ers, I think it would be a good thing to have him in S tier if you're full PPR, if that some of their guys start getting hurt. But you also got to think about him being hurt too and the risk of injury with him getting older too. James Cook, A tier. Jonathan Taylor, A-Chain. A-Chain is an insane guy too. He can catch and run. I think A-Chain is still A tier though. Just because they're going to have to use him heavily. No, actually, I think A-Chain is, I don't know. I'm trying to debate whether or if A-Chain should be above or below these guys. I think A-Chain should be used a lot. He will be used a lot in the Dolphins offense because they don't have very many weapons. But I also think that they can focus on him a lot with the run game and load the box because they're not going to believe in Malik Willis's Malik's arm talent and his talent to throw to. Like, you trade away Jalen Waddle, it's going to be bad. I don't understand why they even paid him all that money. I know it wasn't a crazy contract, but they gave him like over $30 million a year. And A-Chain is going to need the ball a lot, but I think you can focus on him a lot more since Jalen Waddle's gone. Another A-tier guy that will have a great year, I think, again, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, with having Lamar back healthy, he'll still get the ball. I feel like with him getting older, I think he's still going to be the same type of guy. I think age will make him be a little bit slower, but with the volume of carries that they're going to do with the Todd Monken offense, he's still going to be a A-tier guy for me. I feel like Todd Monken, whenever he was at Georgia, he knew how to run the ball first and pass it later, which is going to be great with him and his carries. And also, Todd Monken loves running the ball in the red zone. So he'd be there too. I'm also going to go Saquon. Saquon can run and catch. I feel like with A.J. Brown leaving, he's going to be a big, big vocal point, and he's going to get a lot more carries this year. I think this year will be a bounce back year. Let's see. Who else can we put up there? I think Jonathan Taylor's also A tier. Jonathan Taylor just got paid. I know he didn't get paid one of the top 2 biggest contracts, but he did get paid like $20 million a year over a 2-year contract extension. So he's going to be fed a lot. They did lose Michael Pittman. Daniel Jones is coming off of an injury from last year, so he's probably not going to be as effective early on in the season, and I feel like they're going to lean on Jonathan Taylor a lot. Look at him to be one of the guys that is going to have a heavy carry ratio based off of the rest of the guys in the league. He might lead the league in actual carries. And in the red zone, they're going to run it and pound the ball on him. It's just going to be as simple as that. All right, so here's where it's kind of more sketchy because some of these guys are just stuck in bad offenses, but they have great talent. Like, I don't know. Mr. Michael Myers himself. Wait a minute, you think Jonathan Taylor should be S tier? Jonathan Taylor has to be S tier? Look, how about this? I'll put Jonathan Taylor over. Why do you think Jonathan Taylor's S tier? He doesn't catch the ball that much. Yes, okay. All right. So, yes, he was in the MVP race before the Colts burned down. But you also have to understand this, though. They lost Michael Pittman. They don't have the same amount of value with the guys that they can throw to. And also with Daniel Jones coming off of that injury, they're not going to be as threatened from the pass game. I know they have Tyler Warren still, but the real threat will be the run game. So I think they'll load the box up more. And Jonathan Taylor did do really good for that first half of the season. But you also have to look at the second half of the season too. They did give him the carries. And he was a part of the reason why they did burn down because he just didn't perform as well as he should have. And they do still have a good O-line, but at the same time, I do get what you're saying. At the very, very end of the year, they did have to get Phillip Rivers, and at that point, you could load the box, and you really can do nothing about it. Phillip Rivers didn't have the arm strength to throw it down the field. But I do get what you're saying. I will move him up a little bit, but I don't think he's S tier to me, personally. I think, if anything, I mean, I kind of get you. He's borderline S tier, but I still do think he's A tier. I think, if anything, Saquon could possibly even be over him based off of like the O-line that Saquon has. But I get what you're saying though. Chase Brown's so good. O-line so bad though. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. Chase Brown is very, very good. I feel like with Joe Burrow coming back, thank you for saying that. That'll actually be my next guy. Javonte Williams, Ashton Jeanty. Great talent. He can catch the ball and do all that. Him having Kirk Cousins will help out. And they spent some money on their O-line. So I think he will be a A-tier type of guy. But can they throw the ball with Kirk Cousins and can he not turn the ball over? But Chase Brown, yes. I get what you're saying about Chase Brown. He is really good. With Joe Burrow being back and him being a guy who can catch the ball out of the backfield is good, but I don't believe that Chase Brown's gonna have that great of a year just because his O line is so bad. And if that Joe Burrow does go down again, he's gonna have another down year. Because then you won't have the threat of, oh, I gotta get back a little bit and we can't bum rush their O line no more to try to get to them. So maybe that might help a little bit if that Joe Burrow can stay healthy. But at the same time, I'm a little iffy on Chase Brown just because the O line, like you said, it's just a horrible O line. The next guy I'd probably put up there, probably Kyren Williams. Just because he still has, I think, probably more of a 60-40 split, but he catches the ball way more than Blake Corum does, and he's still a really good value. I feel like Blake Corum will take probably about 35% of the carries, but Kyren Williams, I think this is still his backfield, and they just score a lot of points and they move the ball up and down the field. Let's see. I'm putting David Montgomery over him, I think. David Montgomery with the Houston Texans, that's his backfield to take. That's his backfield to have because they paid him. And I don't think Milton's coming back. No, Joe Mixon is going to be coming back. I think he has a career-ending injury. Kyren Williams got to be BT that throw the ball too much. Yeah, but down in the red zone, he gets all the carries. And also, literally with Kyren Williams, he's a receiving back also, and he's a explosive type of run type of guy. I don't know. He might go B tier just because of what you are saying they do throw the ball much, but I don't know. I believe he is A tier. Especially if you're going to go full, especially if you're going to go full PPR. If you're going full PPR, yes, he's A tier. If he's half PPR, I don't know. I think he's still B tier. A tier. I mean, how the rest of y'all feel about the Kyren Williams? Peterson got to be up there. Yes, one of the guys who definitely be up there, which is actually I'm gonna go ahead and get to that. But I think Chase Brown is going to be B tier based off of the battle line. But I do believe with Joe Burrow being there, he'll be better. I'm going to go. Let's go Josh Jacobs. Since he's going to be healthy again, I think he'll be B tier. And also with them losing Romeo Doubs and a few other guys, and they're going to have to lean on him a little bit more. I know he was hurt last year, but I think he's going to have a bounce back year. And he was on a really good pace to start off last year for about 75% of the league time last year. Let's see. Omarion Hampton coming off of that bad injury. I don't know about him, if I'm being honest. Javonte Williams, like I said earlier, that value that he had with that was amazing. Getting him 11th round or 10th round or whichever one he said, that's amazing value for him. Half or full PPR, doesn't really matter. He doesn't really catch the ball that much, but he gets a lot of red zone carries, and he's a really good running back. Kenneth Walker. With Kenneth Walker, that's his backfield to take. I don't think anybody is going to argue that's his backfield. Nobody else is going to be able to take carries, and I think they're going to have to lean on him heavily just because of Patrick Mahomes is hurt. So he'll be B tier for me. Let's see. TreVeyon Henderson. I had him last year. I thought he was going to have a great year, but they love Rhamondre Stevenson too much. But I do think he'll have a really good year with his explosive runs, and I think he's going to overtake the number one carries. I think he'll have more of the side of the 60-40 on his side this year, but I am weary about the way Mike Vrabel loves to stick around with Rhamondre Stevenson. I just don't trust Mike Vrabel in that way. But I do get what you're saying, Dirk, is that like he's the guy. I think he will be the guy, and he has more explosive ability, and he can also catch the ball in the backfield, which is really, really good for a full PPR. Josh Jacobs might be lower. Packers O-line is trash. Ah. I don't know, man. I think about it though, with Josh Jacobs having that end of that year to where he was hurt so much, I think he's gonna come in with a plan of like, man, I gotta be super aggressive. And he might get suspended. Yes. Yes, I did not. I forgot all about that. Yeah, he might have to drop down a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, I cannot put him below Henderson though. Henderson's still too scary for me though, man. He's way too scary for me. I don't know how many games they're going to suspend Josh Jacobs for. Probably like 2 games, I think, maybe, because of just the way that the history of the league is with suspending players. But I don't know, man. I still think Josh Jacobs is definitely B tier. Let's see who else we got up here. I'm going Junkins B tier. That's his backfield to carry and take. I also feel like with them not having the quarterback thing all right down and stuff, I feel like I just don't know what's going to happen with the quarterback position. That's why I think Junkins is B tier. Junkins B tier. Who else? Who else? You said JK like JK Dobbins? I like JK Dobbins, but he also has RJ Harvey back. RJ Harvey there. If that JK Dobbins is healthy, like he says he is, but he did tweak something soft tissue wise, the Denver Broncos said, but they said it's not major. I think Omarion Hampton's definitely gonna be a B tier once he gets healthy. I'll go J.K. Dobbins, I guess. J.K. Dobbins. TP. Who's TP? I don't know who TP is. Tony Pollard? I don't know about Tony Pollard, bro. I think bro, the Tennessee Titans O-line is trash. And not just that, Tony Pollard's getting older. I get Tony Pollard is still good, but he was getting his carries taken last year by Spears. I don't know how high I rank Tony Pollard. I think JK's over Tony Pollard for me. Jeremiah Love, just because he was a top 5 pick, you kind of got to put him up there. Well, yeah, top 5 pick, you got to put him up there because with them drafting him top 5, he's going to have to get a lot of carries. And he can also catch the ball out of the backfield if they want him to do that type of role. Because Tyler Algier does not catch the ball out of the backfield well at all. When he was at the Falcons, I seen it. He's more of a ground and pound, third down type of guy, but short yardage, that type of back, goal line. Jeremiah Love might get a little bit of goal line action, but he is slightly smaller than Tyler Algier based off like how like he's built like bowling ball type built. Breece Hall's definitely B tier. I don't know. I think Breece Hall's above JK just because there's nobody taking anything from Breece Hall next year after they just got them paying him. ETN, I think he'll have a great year. Alvin Kamara, I think is going to be more of a guy who has lost his starting spot, but he'll still have a ability on like to catch the ball here and there. But I don't think it'll be like a one guy thing. But I do think he'll have more like 65% of the carries and playing time. So he's still B tier with me. Bucky Irvin if he gets back healthy. Saints just trash, no QB. I ain't gonna lie, Tyler Show did good last year though. He did actually pretty good. He actually turned it around for the Saints. They actually had a chance of making the playoffs, and he was actually slinging the ball here and there. Now, I like you said, I do believe. Oh, I kind of agree with you a little bit with the QB thing, is because 1 year doesn't mean anything. You can do good for 1 year and then turn out to be trash the next. You could just have a good little stretch. But I feel like the Saints will be slightly better based off how they drafted and stuff and their offseason with getting ETN. But I ain't like Bucky Irvin coming off that injury. He had kind of like a weird little injury where it lingered a really long time and he wasn't the same. Aaron Jones is getting older, man. He's got a bunch of hamstring injuries from last year, soft tissue injuries. I just don't believe he's really got what it takes anymore. I don't think he'll be D tier, but I just don't think he's B tier. I don't think Tony Pollard's B tier either. Chuba Hubbard, no. I just don't believe it. DeAndre Swift, I think he's B tier. Even though they have Kyle Monangai there with him, he's gonna still be the number one guy. And also the way that Ben Johnson runs his offense, DeAndre Swift is gonna be a really good back. Cam Scatterboo, I think he's B tier also, just because he'll be like the main guy there. And with him coming back, he runs very hard. Now, he is a huge injury risk. Let me adjust that right there. I think Omar and him to be better than him. But Cam Scatterboo, I think he'll be good, but he's a little wild card, bro. He wants to smash his head into everything. He's B tier, but he's kind of like borderline C tier just because of the injury risk. Bashel Tootin. I don't know about Bashel Tootin this year. He will be getting a lot more carries, but I think Bashel Tootin is probably going to be like C tier for me, honestly. Blake Corum, also C tier, just because Kyron Williams is still the number one guy. Who else? D tier, let's go and put Brian Robinson down there. I don't think he's getting a lot of carries. Rico Dowdle, I think he's probably C tier just because I think both these guys will be C tier because they'll be more of like a 50-50 back. He'll get more of the actual running, but he'll get more of the receiving and he'll run a little bit. Chuba Hubbard 2, C tier. Tony Pollard, C tier. Price, he's a rookie that they just drafted. With Charbonnet being out with that injury, I think he'll take most of the carries at first. And I don't know how Charbonnet is going to be back. They usually don't care about guys who get hurt who are not superstars. They usually throw them to the back burner. And Charbonnet was not a superstar last year. He was just a good running back who could split the carries with Kenneth Walker. I think Aaron Jones has that backfield number one, but he's still C tier. I think Tyler Algier will get some carries, but it won't be like a crazy amount because they did draft Jeremiah Love with the top 5 pick. Then we'll go. I think RJ Harvey. I think Ramondre Stevenson is probably going to be C tier. And Alvin Kamara. Put him in C tier also. I can't put Alvin Kamara D tier just off the basis of it's still Alvin Kamara, bro. He's still going to get catches. He still gets some carries. I know he's not the same, but I still believe in Alvin Kamara on third down. Yeah, the first two guys, Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs, I'd go both S tier. A tier, some of y'all think Jonathan Taylor should be up there in the S tier. That could be a possibility, man. That could be a possibility. It might just look right. Just because of them losing weapons. And they're going to lean on him in the red zone because they don't have Michael Pittman anymore. You might have a case for him there. Jonathan Taylor would probably be a heavy red zone carry guy just because of they don't have Michael Pittman Jr. anymore, which was their kind of like the red zone target because he's like 6'3", 6'4". They still do have Tyler Warren, but Tyler Warren still has to grow into himself, even though he's really good. He does have to grow into himself. Yeah, S tier we got Bijan, Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor. Christian McCaffrey off of injury risk, I have him A tier. James Cook, A tier. A-Chain, Henry. What do you think about Rico Dowdle starting? Who else do you have running back wise? Who else do you have running back wise? Other than Rico Dowdle. But I feel like Rico Dowdle, I don't know. Like, depending on who you have, Rico Dowdle will be a key point in this run game because they paid him. You got ETN. I'd go ETN. I'd go ETN just based off of how the Saints like to run their offense. And also, ETN just got paid, so they're going to try to force him the ball. Derrick Henry, ETN, and Derrick Henry. ETN or Dowdle in the flex. ETN, if you're full PPR, you should probably go receiver there. But if that's half PPR, what's what you said earlier? Okay, he was happy. Okay, Smitty was half PPR. What are you, full or half? Full or half PPR? Derrick Henry is a automatic start. ETN, I think he has the edge over Dowdle. Start ETN over here, him in the flex if you don't have like a crazy good receiver option. ETN is always safe because he'll catch the ball. All right, full, yeah, go straight ETN. Dowdle should be your. Who's your other starting running back though? Because you got to have two starting running backs, right? What's your league based? I used to run leagues that were two running backs, two receivers, a tight end, a flex. You got one quarterback. You got a defense. You got a kicker. So what are you running like? Who's your other running back that you have starting with him? There's different types of leagues. Alec Pierce or Michael Wilson in the flex. Okay, with Alec Pierce, he is a liability because he had that like ankle/heel surgery this offseason, and he's still trying to recover from it. They're hoping he's back in week 1. They're not saying he will be back in week 1. I don't know, because Alec Pierce is hurt. He's coming off injury, but once he gets healthy, maybe you put him flex. I feel like if he gets healthy, put him flex over Michael Wilson. Yes, because Michael Wilson has to prove it first. But if Alec Pierce is not back week 1, go Michael Wilson. But if Alec Pierce gets back and Michael Wilson is doing good, keep Michael Wilson in your flex. Alec Pierce can have will kind of have to prove that he can be that same guy from last year. Or let's see. I feel like I like these rankings. I feel like I might drop him down to B tier just because I think Blake Corum will get more carries. Will not get more carries than him, but get more carries than last year. I feel like this is a solid rankings. Solid rankings. What's good? Welcome to the stream, Greg. If you made the images or screen box bigger, it would be better. So hard to see. See. Okay. 1 second. Is that better? Looks good, yes? Alright, cool. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you for letting me know that. I will actually do that from now on. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the stream, Quincy Davis. What's up, man? Let's see. You said I dropped my kicker and now I have to drop someone Purdy or Alec Pierce, Michael Wilson, or George Kittle's these, or my bench players, or keep what I have. Thank you for the sub, man. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man. W Greg in the chat, bro. W Greg. I picked up Brooks. Brooks who? Brooks who? Who could Brooks be? Let me look up. I picked up Brooks. My cousin made our league from 12 to 14 team roster. Now it's going to be a lot more harder. Yeah, it will thin out. Jonathan Brooks. Okay. Let's see. Knicks need to study even more. It's a competitive league. Yeah, 12 to 14 does make you study even more because it's more about drafting is very crucial in those top rounds, and then once you get past like a certain round, the it starts to dwindle in talent. So you really do got to go like waiver wire kind of certain things and kind of putting in trade packages and trying to figure out who's playing who and who has week schedules and things like that. But let's see. You just picked up Jonathan Brooks. You dropped your kicker. I'm not gonna lie. I need more context. So you got Alex Pierce and Michael Wilson. You got Kittles. George Kittle, do not drop him. Michael Wilson, Alec Pierce. I'm a waiver wire king, laugh out loud, based on what my cousin friend told me. Hey, if that you're the waiver wire king, you got it packed down, bro. But I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't drop George Kittle just because I still believe he is one of the top guys. Jonathan Brooks, like, you're in a 12 to 14 man league. If you're in a 12 team roster league, it's pretty thin. So Alec Pierce and Michael Wilson, you're gonna need those guys. Brock Purdy, you're gonna need him. So I'll actually pull up. This is the quarterback range that I have that you'll be able to see. I got Brock Purdy in A tier just because of the weapons he have, and he still has CMC. So I wouldn't drop Brock Purdy. You said you dropped your kicker, which is, I mean, kickers really aren't that important when it comes to fantasy after a certain number of guys. It's really more about skill players if you're in that deep of a league, because you're going to need them. Because, like, let's say if you drop Alec Pierce and he gets healthy fully by around like week 1, week 2, and he starts to pop off, somebody else in your league is going to have him. I feel like Michael Wilson is going to have a good year, like he did last year, because he's built a chemistry with Jacoby Brissett. Yeah, for Quincy, let me see. Let me look some stuff up, man. Because I just don't think dropping them. I normally like punting quarterbacks, tight ends, and defenses for the running backs and receiver stacks. Yeah, like if you're in a deep league, I think 2 quarterbacks is fine. But you don't. With a deep league like a 14 man league, that's like if everybody has 2 quarterbacks. Tight ends are way, way easier just to punt away, and defense is even more easier to punt. It's hard to drop them. It's a 10 man league. So how many do you have to drop, Quincy? 1, 2 players? It should only be 1 though, right? If it's just 1 guy and you got to pick between those 3, I can let you know. Okay, so you just got to drop 1. All right, just got to drop 1. So if I had to let you know out of those, I'd keep Purdy. Who's your other starting quarterback? But I know I'd still keep Purdy. Alec Pierce and Michael Wilson and George Kittle, you gotta drop 1. I'd probably go Michael Wilson. If I had to pick. Just because they still have Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., they're still going to try to get him in there and push the ball to him because they drafted him so high and they still have like belief in him. Alec Pierce, he just got a big bag, so I don't think you drop him because they're going to try to give him the ball. Malik Willis could be a sneaky QB snatch late round. He could, but at the same time, I don't trust Malik Willis. And, well, I trust his talent of what I've seen last year and the glimpses, but that was a glimpse. You can't always go off the glimpses because the Dolphins don't have much talent. After they traded Jalen Waddle, like they don't have any receivers to really throw to. So I wouldn't really start Malik Willis if you can get somebody a little bit like earlier on. Like some guys will drop lower. That is better than Malik Willis. My starting tight end, Tucker Kraft, and my starting quarterback is Trevor Lawrence. Okay, Trevor Lawrence is a good pick, but him and Brock Purdy. Me personally, as you see my ratings, I like Purdy better. But Trevor Lawrence is really good too. So I'm not mad at you starting Trevor Lawrence. That's a good pick. I wouldn't drop Purdy. I like Purdy a lot based off his weapons, and he still has CMC who catches the ball and goes it in. If Chris Bell can pop off out of nowhere, that would be nice. Yeah, but is he going to pop off? Let's see. Chris Bell. I'm not familiar with a Chris Bell. Let me see. Okay. Chris Bell just got drafted. Okay, Chris Bell got drafted, but I still don't believe that's enough to say Malik Willis is a look. Malik Willis has legs. He can do it. He can get gone. But I feel like Robert Saleh is also their head coach, and he's not an offensive minded guy. So what's the offense going to look like with Malik Willis with also not having that much talent? He's part of the class, yeah. My starting running back is Gibbs, Chase, Brown, Hampton, Scatterboo. Scatterboo, I mean. Um. So why do you need Jonathan Brooks? Why do you need Jonathan Brooks if you have all those guys? Yeah, Jonathan Brooks. I don't know about that one. If you have Gibbs, Chase Brown, Hampton, and Cam Scatterboo, I don't think you should have dropped. I mean, maybe you're banking on. What are you banking on that Jonathan Brooks is going to take over the starting carries? But I still don't even believe that even if he does take over some of the carries, even they go 50-50. Like your Gibbs starting him like off rip. Chase Brown, you're gonna start him. Like Hampton, he's a possibility to start, depending on if you want to go him or Chase Brown. If that Hampton is healthy again, I think you probably go Chase Brown over Hampton because of the injury like history. Cam Scatterbo, Cam Scatterbo, I mean, he might even start with Gibbs if that Scatterbo looks the same. But I think Chase Brown and Gibbs should be your starting two guys. I think you have plenty of running back depth. I don't know much on Caleb Douglas. He is a rookie too, but Chris Bell is a speedster. Okay, let's see. Caleb Douglas. Caleb Douglas. Okay, Caleb Douglas, former Texas Tech receiver. Former Texas Tech receiver. He's a rookie. They say in camp he's actually turning heads. So I mean, I get he's turning heads in camp, but that's also because the Dolphins don't have a good defense, man. Like the Dolphins are in shambles to me. I just don't see where the Dolphins and Malik Willis can do something good this year. Like they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. They're going to have to try to try the best to score. Yeah, they do have some rookie guys to keep an eye on, but you also have to think though. This is the NFL. They're It's the NFL for a reason. It's the best of the best, and if these guys are rookies, they're going to be trying to learn. Malik Wilson is also trying to learn. So if they're all learning at one point, you're going to have a lot of kinks, bumps and bruises. A bunch of things are going to happen that is not going to look good at first. My starting wide receiver is Devontae Smith and Ladd and Christian Watson. Okay, that's a pretty good core. And you said you're a 10-man league. What does your running backs look like? What did you say earlier? You're starting tight end, okay. Yeah, your running backs are great. Gibbs, Chase Brown, yeah, those guys are great. Devontae Smith, Ladd, and Christian Watson. I'd start Devontae Smith and Ladd. Christian Watson is probably a backup. Being honest. Gibbs will be a starter. Chase Brown will be a starter in your flex. Let's see. Did you tell me what? Are you running full or half? Quincy, full or half PPR? If it's full PPR, you probably want to go receiver with Christian Watson. If it's half PPR, you could go running back in like a Cam Scatterbo, I mean, or Hampton. Because Hampton does catch out of the backfield too. 2 flex full league. And Michael Wilson 2 flex. League full. Michael Wilson, okay. Michael Wilson is good. Christian Watson's good. He could be a good flex. Christian Watson. He just got the bag. He's gonna try to prove himself. They're gonna throw to him after they lost Romeo Dobbs. I'd probably put him flex. Christian Watson. Devontae Smith, Ladd, start those 2 flex league. All right, so you'd probably start Devontae Smith, Ladd, full PPR. Yeah, you're definitely gonna go Devontae Smith, Ladd, Christian Watson as a flex, and you could also, if I'm being honest, probably go Omarion Hampton also. That's kind of up to you. For me personally, I'd probably go to start off the season. I go Michael Wilson and Christian Watson in my 2 flex spots because it's a full PPR and they're not coming off of injuries. Christian Watson does have some injury history. Michael Wilson was actually healthy last year and he actually had a good year. Once he started to pick it up and get his foot in the ground. Yeah, I'd probably go Christian Watson, Michael Wilson to start off the year as your 2 flexes. I'd start Devontae Smith and Ladd as your receivers. I'd go running backs. I'd go Gibbs and Chase Brown as your starters. Tight end, Tucker Kraft is a good one. Quarterback, for me personally, I'd probably go Trevor Lawrence. Keep Brock Purdy as your backup if Trevor Lawrence starts to go down a little bit. So you said Dolphins also have Kevin Coleman Jr., another rookie. The Dolphins have some receivers to keep an eye on. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, with the running backs, you got Gibbs. You have Omarion Hampton. I put B tier, so that's a good one too. But with full PPR, I'd go Michael Wilson because Omarion Hampton is coming off an injury. Now, if that Omarion Hampton starts to turn up and he's taking the full backfield, go Hampton because he can catch the ball in the backfield too, and he'll also get the carries and the red zone touches. But I think to start off, your best bet is to probably go 2 receivers in your flex. Trevor Lawrence, Brock. You got some good quarterbacks. Let's see, what does Greg have at quarterback? Did you tell me earlier? Said Malik Willis. Willis will be a sneaky one. Who do you have at quarterback, Greg? If you're still in here, who's better receiving back? James Cook? Okay, no, that's not even a question. That's not even a question. Achane is a way better receiving back. Like James Cook, he gets taken out of the game on third downs because if it's like a third down and long, he usually gets taken out of the game because he's not a receiving back almost at all. So I'd go Devon Achane. Start him over him immediately if you're looking for a guy who is a receiving back. If you want someone like that, better. But actually, no, retract that statement. I'm tripping. If you're going fantasy football wise, I'm going James Cook as the starter next to Achane. If you have both of those on your team, start both of those guys. Like they're literally right here, both in A tier. Start them both. But the better receiving back is definitely Achane. Last year, I had Dak Prescott as my sleeper QB with CeeDee Lamb in the first. Okay, I had CeeDee Lamb last year also too. I traded for him. Right? Earlier on in the season, I seen he had some drops. He started off a little bit slow. But I was like, let me take a chance on him. Let me go trade for him because somebody was trying to get rid of him. So I did that, and CeeDee Lamb actually disappointed because the drops just kept coming. And he kind of screwed me later down on in the season. He never gave me the boom games because he has George Pickens with him. But Dak Prescott, if you have him, that'd be a great guy. I've been liking the Baker Mayfield and Emeka Ibuka, Caleb Williams with Luther Burden duo. I did try double running back strategy. Double running back strategy is cool. For me personally, my thing is if I can get 2 running backs early off the board that can catch the ball like let's say if I have a high pick and I get like a man, I ain't gonna lie, you really can't get 2 guys that catch the ball out of the backfield in the first round. You can't get 2 of those type of guys. But if I had a chance to get like a Bijan Robinson and it's like a snake draft, let's say if like CMC is left over, I'd get him too in the second round, and then I would like double up. Guys who I would double up with would be like Bijan with James Cook or anybody in S and A tier. Okay, so I would double up on running back if there was a Bijan, a Gibbs, Taylor, CMC, Cook, Achane, Derrick Henry, and Saquon. Those are the only guys that I would double up with. If I'm being honest. If those guys are, if that you can only get one of those, I'd go a different route like receiver. Now, if that the receiving backs are gone, go straight heavy receiver. I think me like personally. Go like a Jamar Chase and Puka Nakua. But you probably won't be able to get those guys. But You could probably go either one of those guys. You probably get one of those guys, and if you can get like a Drake London or a Emeka Ibuka's gonna be a great pick. Let's see. Let me go in order. I had all right. Greg said I had CeeDee Lamb, Drake London, Emeka Ibuka, and Roma Dunze. I had Roma Dunze too last year. I feel like this year CeeDee Lamb be a good pick. Drake London, Emeka Ibuka, Roma Dunze. He'll be a good pick too since DJ Moore's gone. But he did say he does have a foot like pain that he says that will never go away and that he's gonna have to deal with. It's just like a part of his game now. So I'd probably put him in the last of all those guys. But I'd definitely go like Lamb London, Lamb Emeka Ibuka. But I'd probably go Emeka Ibuka over Drake London though. Even though I'm a freaking Falcons fan, I would definitely go Emeka Ibuka over London. Because they don't have Mike Evans no more, and also they don't have the same Chris Godwin. I think he'll be a shell of himself now. Let's see. I doubled up on Amon-Ra St. Brown CDM. Bro, you're cooking. You're cooking. Amon-Ra Brown and CeeDee Lamb combo, dude, that's a great double up. Great double up. Those are like two. Amon-Ra St. Brown's like an S tier. CeeDee Lamb's like an A tier. I also heard balance attack is good too. Yeah, if you like to balance it out and kind of get. All right, so with full PPRs, balancing it is good. When you're with the full PPR, I'd probably go receiving backs first if they're there, and then receivers, and then get really good running backs like James Cook and things like that, and Derrick Henry if they're still there. Like kind of go heavy on those guys. Quincy says I went 3 running backs in the first 3 rounds and got Scatterbo at 6. Who'd you say did you get? Quincy had who? Chase Brown that high? First 3? Ooh, I don't. Scatterbo, Chase Brown, Hampton at 3rd round. I mean, these aren't bad values if they're all healthy and they're all getting the bulk of the carries. That's not bad, but I wish you would have went more receiver if you had a chance. But your receivers are good though, based on what you said. Devontae, Ladd. I mean, you can do bad. That's a good lineup. Scatterbo at 6th round is amazing value. Do you think Luther Burden is overhyped? No. I think Luther Burden is going to have a great year. Dude, Caleb Wilson loves that dude. No, Caleb Williams loves that dude. I think he's going to have a really good year. If that you can get Luther Burden at a really great value, like he's very, very slept on. One thing I do hate right now, I dislike how my cousin, who is the commissioner, not gave draft order to the guys. Why wouldn't he give the draft order out? But dude did give our league winner the #1 overall pick to come back. What? That's kind of crazy. Like, why wouldn't it be voted on? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Why would he give the #1 draft pick to the guy who won the league? That doesn't make any sense at all. That should be a thing that you vote on. Not you just give it out. Let's see. I don't know. Sounds sketchy. Dude, that is sketchy. Y'all need to get him away from any type of, like, bro. Y'all should vote him away from being commissioner next year, man. The league has already started for y'all. I'm thinking because y'all have already drafted, or you might be about to start drafting, or whatever, or you're trying to figure it out. But yeah, I would not let him. Y'all should vote on that. Get him up out of there for commissioner. That's insane. Don't tell y'all the draft order and then he rigs the draft order to where he wants a guy back so he gives him the number 1 draft pick. That's crazy, crazy sketchy. Oh, you draft August 30th? Y'all got plenty of time. Plenty of time. Okay. August 30th draft. Is this the only league you're in, or are you in multiple leagues? Like, do y'all have money on the line? Like, what's it like for y'all's league? What about Efton Chisholm? No. Efton Chisholm is not a guy to even think about. Especially after him getting AJ Brown and Romeo Dobbs. No. Back burner. Efton Chisholm is done. He should be a free agent. I do have to get off at 6 p.m. Eastern time because I have to get ready for my second stream of the day, which is me playing the main league. It's $125 buy-in. We inflate the league. When we first started it, it was $20 or $25. Dude, $125 buy-in, and he's fixing the draft. It's kind of insane. Kind of insane. Like, dead serious. As a literal league, y'all should come together. Like, y'all should come together and actually talk about it. And like, yeah, look, man, we need to talk to your cousin. Like, y'all need to talk to your cousin and let him know, like, if we're gonna put $125 on it, we gotta like have this draft order redone and not give it to the number 1 overall pick unless y'all are fine with it. You should ask around your league and see if that everybody feels the same way about it being kind of like sketchy. But 125 is a lot for him to be not telling y'all the draft order and giving the number 1 pick to the guy who won it last year. It was a snake draft. I mean, yeah, snake draft, number 1 pick always get hurt. Yes. But at the same time, like, bro, he'll get Bijan or Gibbs, and if he has even a decent draft, bro, Bijan and Gibbs have insane upside. Like, they're boom guys almost every week. Okay, so you do the same. Oh, all right. So y'all might not be that much worried about him having the first overall pick. Y'all might not really care that much. Yeah, at 6 p.m. Eastern time, I do have to hop off of the stream of the fantasy football because at 7, I'm going to be back on for the stream, our game 2, and I'm going to be gaming Red Dead Redemption 2, the chapter 2 part of it. I already did chapter 1 stream. I did part of the chapter 2 yesterday. And I'm gonna be back on at 7 tonight from like 7 to like 10 until I finish chapter 2 and start a little bit of chapter 3. But until then, I'll answer any other questions that anybody does have. What's up, Dad? Welcome to the stream. Snake fixes the number 1 pick advantage? Yes, it does. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not as bad if that's all I had to give up to get the champ to come back to the league. But at the same time, not giving y'all the draft order means he's picking out who gets the draft in which order is kind of weird and sketchy though. All right, I'm going to do. All right, so Greg says I'm going to do my homework history and see the league guys, how the league guys draft and their favorite players. What about Mike Evans? Okay, I heard Mike Evans had a soft tissue injury. And with that soft tissue injury, you got to watch out because he's had that for the past 2 years now. And if he gets another one and you drafted him, you might got to sit him and start somebody else, bro, because I ain't gonna lie, you might even have to use whatever some value people might think of him, of being Mike Evans, and trade him and put him in like a package, man, because I ain't gonna lie, I don't really trust Mike Evans like that anymore. Just because of like all the injuries he has. He's on your bench, yeah, keep him there. Until he proves he can stay healthy, and until in that 49ers offense, he's shown that he's being involved in it, don't start him. So I have to have an idea who to snatch. My cousin did kick him out though. Huh. Okay. I got Rice, Rashid Rice, rashes. I got rashes, rice, chairs. Okay, I think you're saying Rashid Rice and Chris Olave and Tedera McMillan. Okay, all right. So, um, Rashid Rice, yes, he's a good value. Chris Olave is your best guy you got. Tedera McMillan's also probably your second best guy you got. Rashid Rice is also good too, but you also got to figure out. Um, okay, it auto corrected, but yeah, that's a good receiving core. Those should be your starters. But watch out for Rashid Rice because he could be getting suspended. Because he did just get out of jail during the offseason. He had to spend like 30 days in jail. He was still practicing, but I don't know how the league's going to discipline him. And also, he gets in trouble a lot and he has a slight injury history, but your receiving core is pretty good. So I heard he had to beg to bring him back. So he kicked him out and then he begged to bring him back. So that's how y'all got him back in the league, is to give him the number one pick. I mean, I guess it's kind of like a. I guess what y'all did was good to a point, but I would recommend probably don't kick him out if you really do need him. Unless it's like a bad reason that y'all kicked him out and then y'all couldn't find anybody, then you had to go back to him. I don't know. Okay. So yeah, the snake kind of makes up for him having the number one pick because I mean he might get Gibbs or he might get Bijan, but it is a snake draft, so he gets the worst end of the back end. He has to wait all the way around, and I'm pretty sure you said you were in a. Let's see, what type of league you say you were in? Was it 14 or 10? No, yeah, you're in the 14-man league. Yeah, he's screwed on that one. Yeah, he's super screwed. Never mind. Don't even debate that one. But then again, with a 14-man league, like with a 14-man league, he does get hurt. He has to wait like a long time. But at the same time, he does have a banger. I ain't lie, me personally, I don't mind being the snake and having the number one pick. Because let's say if like my draft doesn't go as well that I think it should, and my team's not going as well as I think it should, you always have like a Bijan or a Gibbs that you can like dangle out there and see what you can get for them to make your team overall better if you're in that 14-man league. Because the deeper league you get, you can see what you could get for them, and if you have an overall better amount of players, you get like 3 good players out of that one guy. If your league's not really like doing that great for you, that could work out too. That's why I like double running backs in late first of 14-team league. Yes, facts. Yeah, because running backs are very scarce. Receivers, you can get away with more of that because, I mean, if you're in full PPR, bro, receivers, you're going to have plenty of those guys. Running backs, they're going to run out quick. So that was actually smart by you. Honestly, I feel like I could probably push the stream to probably like 6:30. I could probably push it to 6:30 since there's a decent amount of people in here. 10 people in here. Y'all are actually asking good questions. I'll push it to like 6:30. See. And here's the running back rankings again for anybody who's just joining. That's how I got it. Do you think that a player dying in your championship game should put an asterisk on your championship, asking for a friend? Okay, so here's my true opinion on somebody dying in the championship game and putting an asterisk. So this is how I think of it. If somebody died in the game, you were winning, somebody had a player left in the game, but the game didn't get finished. But the championship game is, that's all that it comes down to. If the player you're playing says he doesn't care, it doesn't matter as much as them. You just take the win. There should be no type of asterisk to me personally. If the other guy's fine with it, and he's for some reason doesn't believe he could have came back, no asterisk at all. That's a chip. That's a straight championship. That's my opinion. Now, if the other guy were to have said, a guy died, we got to figure out some type of way where we don't do the actual app or whatever, and you take like the next week's points or something, and y'all got to figure that out, then that's what you have to do at that moment. But if that's not what happened, and there was controversy, yes, asterisk. But if there's no controversy between the two people who are actually in the championship, why should there be a actual asterisk? Because, I mean, if both of y'all agree you won, why not? Why would it not be a true championship? Some people are always going to say they're not going to count your chip just because, you know, they're a little bit salty about you winning it. But if the two guys that were in it acknowledge that you won it, then that's all that matters. You got the trophy to prove it. Would you drop Alec Pierce for Wan'Dale Robinson? Okay. Wan'Dale Robinson. Wan'Dale Robinson. What team did Wan'Dale Robinson go to? Let's see. Tennessee Titans? Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans. Man. That's a tough one. Yeah, I don't know, man. They got a lot of guys there. They got a lot of competition. I wouldn't drop Alec Pierce, no. Yeah, he's right. They got Carnell Tate. They got Calvin Ridley. They got Wanda Robinson's there, they still have like, bro, they have a bunch of guys still there. You also got to think about. Let's pull up the actual. Let's pull up. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Let me pull up on my actual PC. For looking at my phone. Let me pull up on my PC. One second. 1 second. All right, here we go. Let's go Titans. Depth chart. All right, here we go. So Wanda Robinson, you got Calvin, you got Carnell Tate, you still got Dyke, you still got Ayo Manor, and those guys actually did pretty decent last year. They got seriously 5 guys that they're going to want to get the ball to. Carnell Tate is one of their highly touted rookies. I just don't see where. I just don't see where you could drop Alec Pierce for Wanda Robinson. But if you believe that's the right choice because of Alec Pierce is hurt, and you don't believe he'll be back soon enough, go Wanda Robinson if you believe that's right. They did pay Wanda Robinson, so it kind of does make a little sense because they could want to give him the ball. But at the same time, you just can't like oh, they paid him. They're going to force the ball to him when Cam Ward's trying to win games. Like he loves winning, so he's not going to just force it to one guy. He's got a lot of weapons with him. Yeah, DeMar Hamlin did die, and then he came back. Yeah, suspended the game. Cam Ward can do a lot with that offense. Yes, he could. He can, but we also got to understand that O-line is trash. I'm just being honest with you. That O-line, he's running for his life, bro. Like, let's see. With my rankings, I had him C tier, but looking at the weapons he's got, he's actually B tier now. Y'all just actually brought that to my eyes. Like, bro, Cam Ward can actually do something with that offense if the O-line can actually be coached up well and work together. But he's deep B tier, though, bro. I cannot put him anywhere higher than any of those other guys in B tier just because his O-line, atrocious. And also the Titans defense, not good. Which means, I mean, that's actually not bad. Because if their defense is not good, they'll give up points. So they'll have to throw the ball a lot more. So maybe I'm tripping on that whole C tier earlier. I think y'all are right. He is probably B tier. He could probably do something with that offense around him. But nothing too. I just don't know about Robert Saleh being a decent minded head coach. Let's look at some more rosters and see who's starting, who's not. see what's up with what y'all said was underrated or a sneaky pick. Malik Willis, Dolphins. Depth chart. They got Malik Washington, who's a small guy. Jalen Tolbert, Caleb Douglas, Tutu Atwell. That's another small guy though. Chris Bell. What's wrong with Chris Bell? Okay, he says he might have a chance to play this preseason. Okay, but it says he is banged up with his knee. Looks like I'm getting flashbang, boy. Let brightness down. All right. Yeah, I just don't trust the whole Malik Willis thing. Just because, like, look at the talent they have, and the O-line's not good. Proctor's probably decent pick for him. Just don't know much about any of these other guys. Like, their defense is going to be bad. So, yeah, they'll be able to throw the ball a lot, but to who? Who's the guy that really stands out right now that has any type of, like, experience? And that's proven something. Where's Epton Chisholm? Epton Chisholm is literally a third stringer. So, yeah, that's not even a pick to even think about. They got A.J. Brown, Romeo Dobbs, Kayshon Boutte, Kyle Williams, Mac Hollins, Demario Douglas. They got a pretty good core. Oh, they have Rhamondre Stevenson starting. Ravion Henderson's the backup, but that's more probably like 50-50 though now. Let's see. Falcons, my team. Let's see, they got Tua the starter, but not officially. Bijan, you got Drake London, Dotson, Lomzade Keys. I think Branch is probably going to move up here after the preseason. But that receiving core is all right. You got Austin Hooper, you got Kyle Pitts. The O-line's really good. I do worry about Juwan Taylor, the new guy a little bit, but hopefully he'll come around and do good. The defense is very questionable now, just because of all the injuries we have. We lost Jalen Walker. Who would you rather have starting QB for the Falcons? If I'm being honest, I'd like to see Tua have a go at it. I've seen Penix. He has bad accuracy in the short to intermediate type of throws. The simple throws, he throws dirt balls. Tua has a better arm with accuracy wise. Penix has a better deep ball. But I'd rather have a guy who could throw it accurately more often. But also, with Tua, he turns the ball over a lot. So if he starts turning the ball over, go straight to Penix. For me personally, I'd like to give Tua a shot at it. But if that Tua starts to mess up, you got Penix. And Penix still is not cleared. So that is one thing that you do got to worry about him. Let's go Kansas City. Bryce, Worthy, Tyquan Thornton. These receivers are just not good, bro. I just don't know what Patrick Mahomes is going to be able to do fantasy-wise, man. He always does a little bit of something, but he's coming off of a big injury. Kenneth Walker would pretty much have a good season here, I think. Travis Kelce will have a decent year. See, I haven't drafted anybody. But see, where do I go? This is really not even the league at all. I'm not ever going to join anything or like that. I just come here just for like the little stacks and the rankings and stuff. Players. All right, here we go. Available. Let's go. Quarterbacks. All right, so projections and things like that. So Josh Allen, Lamar, Drake. Let's go ranks. Where do they rank these guys? Quarterbacks, I got Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Dart, Herbert, Lamar, Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford, Dak, Trevor Lawrence, week 1. Brock Purdy's really low. You might be right about the Trevor Lawrence thing of starting him week 1. Running backs, you got Gibbs, Genty. I don't know about him being that high. Bijan, CMC, A-Chain, Taylor, Saquon, Amar and Hampton, Brees Hall, Jeremiah Love, Chase Brown, Derrick Henry, Javonte Williams, Josh Jacobs, Cook, Scotabo, Walker, Kyron Williams. See Price right here. He's going to be the starting running back for right now. Etienne will be the starter. You know what I'm saying? They got Jalen Walker, Jalen Ward, Rico Dowdle. Those are 2 guys right there who are going to pretty much split the backfield 50-50. That's just not a good sign. Trayvon Henderson's down here. And Ramondre Stevens down here, so that's more like a 50-50 stack too. Puka Chase, St. Brown, Jackson Smith and Jigba, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson. I don't know about Justin Jefferson, man. I had him on my team last year. I had CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Garrett Wilson. What else did I have? I had Zay Flowers. Well, I actually traded away Zay Flowers and a few other players to get CeeDee Lamb. You should do division winners projections. Predictions? Okay. Division winner. Standings, okay. Alright. Straight unbiased. AFC East, I think the worst team is going to be the Jets. Then it'll be the Dolphins right here, second worst team. If I had to choose, I think it'll be the Bills who win in the division. The Patriots are going to be second, but it's going to be very, very tight, I think. Then with the AFC North, I think you go. I think who win the division. The Ravens will win the division. Then it'll be the Bengals. Then it'll be the Steelers. Then it'll be the Browns. AFC South. I think it'll be. I ain't gonna lie. I'm going Texans to win it. Jacksonville is gonna be second. Colts third, Titans last. AFC West, I'm going to go Broncos to win it. Chargers second, Kansas City third. Raiders last. NFC East, I'm going to go shot in the dark. Dallas to win it. Eagles second, Washington third, Giants last. Then we'll go, let's see, NFC North. Going Lions to win it. Second's going to be the Bears. Third's going to be Packers. Last's going to be Vikings. NFC South, I think the Falcons win it. Second place will be the Buccaneers. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, nah. Second place Panthers. Third place Bucks. Last place Saints. And then NFC West, we're going to go the Rams to win it. Second's going to be Seattle. Third is going to be San Francisco. And then last is going to be Arizona. That's how I think it's going to end up. Who do y'all think's winning the AFC East? I could actually poll it. NFC East. Add option. Oh. Not NFC East. AFC. So Bills. Bills. New England. Bills. Jesus Christ, I need some. I need a mod, bro. New England. Miami and Jets. New England, you think? I don't know about New England, man. I just feel like they're gonna have a drop back year. I know they got AJ Brown and all, and they got a little bit better with that, but for last year they had it so set up so easily. Their schedule was the easiest. I don't think it's gonna be that again. Like, look at their schedule. They got the Seahawks week 1. The Steelers they're nothing to play with. You got the Jaguars, you got the Bills, the Raiders, they're gonna whip them. The Jets, they're gonna whip the Jets too. The Bears is gonna be a decent game. Dolphins, they're trash. Packers is not easy. Lions is not easy. Chargers not easy. Bills not easy. Vikings not easy. Chiefs are not easy. Jets are easy. Broncos, you got Dolphins. Like, they don't have an easy schedule. Like, they got a lot of decent guys that they got to play, and a lot of top guys. Buffalo got Texans, Lions, Chargers, Patriots, Rams, Raiders. I do not like those uniforms. Ravens, Vikings, Jets, Dolphins, Chiefs, Patriots. Okay, their schedule's not easy either, but it's kind of like evened out. Kind of evened out. Okay, so 3 votes say New England. Let's see. ESPN. What do y'all think for NFC East? Y'all think Dallas Cowboys? You got the Eagles, Giants, and the Commanders. The NFC East, who do y'all think? I think Dallas is actually going to take it this year. I think the Eagles got worse. The Giants, I'm not buying into that whole they're going to be good this year just because they got Harbaugh. I just don't believe it that they have the talent. I don't believe it not one bit. Then the Commanders, I think they're gonna have a very, very rocky year. Just don't trust it. Don't believe in it. Yeah, why did I pick Jets? Yeah, as a misinput. I was supposed to put Washington Commanders. I was just thinking New York Giants, and I was like New York Jets, like in the back of my mind. All right, so y'all said Dallas. Oh, let's see. What y'all see of Chicago? Let's see Chicago, Detroit, the Packers, and then Minnesota. Y'all think of win this division, the NFC North. Chicago, Detroit, Packers, and Minnesota. I think the Lions are gonna take it. I think they're coming back for revenge. Okay, so we're actually split on this one. 3 people are usually voting every time. 3 active voters every time, and all 3 of y'all picked different. Somebody picked Chicago, somebody picked the Lions, and somebody picked the Packers. Are y'all like fans of those certain teams, or is like just like unbiased? Let's see next. Let's do Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cincinnati. Let's go Cleveland, and let's go Pittsburgh. Okay, Packers to the bowl. I don't know if I agree with that. I ain't gonna lie. I don't think the Packers getting to the Super Bowl, but people have their own opinions. You pick Chicago. Nah, Jets all the way. Lions could take it thoughtfully. I think the Lions could take it, but Chicago did win it though. Let's see, y'all split again. One person picked Baltimore, another one picked Cincinnati, and another one picked Pittsburgh Steelers. Split again. Okay. Let's see. Who else is an important one? NFC West. Let's do the NFC West. Do Arizona, LA, San Francisco, and Seattle Seahawks. Y'all got right here. Arizona, LA, San Francisco, and then Seattle. I think LA is gonna win it. So far, 2 votes. One's for LA, one for San Francisco. I'm surprised that nobody picked Seattle so far. Fifty-fifty on that one. Let's go. The Chiefs. Got Brock Purdy. You think they'll win it? Chiefs. Kansas City. Go Denver. Luther Burden, DJ Moore, and Malik Neighbors in my mock draft. Luther Burden is a good one. All those guys are good. If the data center doesn't keep hurting players, yeah, facts. Yeah. But I mean, they say that it doesn't really have a real like effect scientifically, but also that is an insane amount of injuries to keep happening to like keep happening. What y'all think about the AFC? It is good after Cooks. Is that good after Cooks and K Williams? Cooks, you mean James Cook? You talking about James Cook? Yes, James Cooks. Okay, so you got James Cooks and you got Aaron Williams. Luther Burden, DJ Moore, Malik Neighbors. When do you think you'll be able to get Malik Neighbors though? You're probably going to pick Malik Neighbors before you pick Luther Burden and DJ Moore. Most definitely. All right, so the poll came back. 2 you picked Denver, 1 of you picked Kansas City. I thought that Denver would win it too. Kansas City has a chance, but I just think that Denver just has a way better defense, and they've added a little more talent with the Jalen Waddle thing on offense, and they got Bo Nix coming back. I got Neighbors in the third. That's a great what? That's great value. He probably dropped in the third because people are kind of like afraid of the injury. Maybe not. Maybe don't think that he'll be the same. Yeah, that's a good stack if you can get all those players. You get that. You get James Cook, um, Kyron Williams. Then you can get Luther Burden, DJ Moore, and Malik Neighbors. Dude, I appreciate you said that you were in a 14-man league too, bro. That's crazy. That's great value. Luther Burden is a sleeper, and DJ Moore is on the up. He won't be in there in the third in our league. So what you think in your league that he's gonna be valued way higher than the third? That people still gonna go off of his name? I think he's more like back in second round. Oh, you're mocking in a 12-man league. That's not bad. Well, I mean, 12-man league is better for practice. Okay, but shoot, if you can do that in the mock, and you're getting that type of talent, and you're drafting that well, you're actually doing really good. Yes, second. Yeah, second round maybe, but it'll probably be more back towards the back end of the second round if you're thinking like that. I think third round is great value, but at the same time, probably the top of third round is probably where he actually belongs. If people are scared of the factor of him maybe not being the same, but second round, if that people aren't really like afraid of it, I could see that. Like high second round, mid second round, if that people don't care about the injury. Me personally, I do care about the injury, and I've seen him hobble around all offseason. People are saying, "Oh well, he looks a whole lot better." That's cool. At the same time, like you still got to put that into the factor that he also sometimes doesn't take football as seriously as he should when he does things off the field. Like when he is hurt, he goes to concerts. He's supposed to be rehabbing. Top of the second round would probably be a stretch. Back in the second round, middle second round, probably better. If you're in a 10, 12-man league, there's better players, I think, than him. Girl, I got 4 minutes left until I'm about to end stream. I got any more questions for me? I came back with rookie Price, Jordan Tyson, and QB is Caleb Williams. The QB is great. Caleb Wilson's great to get. Caleb Wilson and the Burden combo is good. Jordan Tyson, uh, I think he'll have a decent year. Price, he's going to be the starter for the Seahawks, so they run the ball a lot. Charbonnet is not going to be there at least for the first part, I don't think. Yeah, Caleb is getting better every year, but also like, look, I'll just show y'all real quick of why I don't like him as much. Like I put him. Caleb Williams is B tier, but he's at top B tier. He could be A tier if he gets better at his completion percentage. Where's it at? Here we go. Depth chart, roster. See what I'm saying? Like 58%, I feel like he should be like more higher in like the mid to higher 60s. Don't y'all feel the same way too? Like the completion percentage just should be better. His picks were down. Touchdowns 27. That's pretty good. He had the running threat. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. Basically 4,000 yards. Got 2 more minutes until I end stream. All right. Any more questions for me of any type of fantasy football? Any questions about any of the rankings that I put up? Colin Cowherd says he looks great in camp. Crisp is the word he used. Yeah, but I mean, you can't really go off of camp though, because if we always go off of camp, think about it. The way they talk about Tua in camp, he looks amazing. He's on time. He's on point. He's like, dude, like they say his talent is insane. Like it should all come together. But when he gets in the game, he throws picks. He can't read the freaking coverages that well. He doesn't understand things. And that's a problem. You got to understand coverage. You got to understand when to gunsling, when not to. And that's one of Tua's biggest problems. You're kind of sheltered once you're in camp. When you're not in camp, it's a whole different beast. So, I mean, he's got to prove that once he gets to start playing, because they've said that about a few guys. What's your favorite guys this year so far? Like favorite guys like what? Like quarterbacks or running backs? For quarterbacks, my favorite guys is Josh Allen, Lamar, Burrow, Drake May, Stafford. Top 5. In that order. And then running backs, as you see, I'd go, me personally, fantasy wise, I'd go Bijan, Gibbs, Christian McCaffrey, James Cook, Jonathan Taylor. And that's probably my top 5 right there in that order. But I'm also putting in injury risk and production, like carries wise and like catching the ball, in consideration for actual like full PPR. On the QB list and run back, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how I kind of have it. Even though I have Jonathan Taylor over CMC and James Cook, that's only because I'm going straight off of like, I'm a Raiders fan, but worry about Genty. I know Mike Washington Jr. could take some carries away. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not really worried about him taking that many carries. I think Genty's gonna get the bulk of it. I think he'll get like 70%, probably 75%, something like that. The only thing I'm worried about is their O line has gotten a little bit better, but who's gonna be throwing the ball, man? Like Kirk Cousins, I'm a Falcons fan. Kirk Cousins last year had a horrible stretch with us. Like he screwed us over bad with those turnovers for like those 5 straight weeks, and that's why we really didn't make the playoffs. Is he going to continue that when the games actually come around to start the season? And if that does happen, it's going to be bad for Ashton Ginger, because guess what? Turnovers mean he doesn't get as many carries, he doesn't get as many catches. And that's where you're going to want your fantasy points from. And also, if he can't throw the ball accurately or have any type of deep throw type of power, how are they going to push the ball down the field to get even Genty in the end zone? I know they got Brock. And they got let's see. Let me look at the Raiders real quick. Probably one of the last things I do, unless somebody else asks a question before I end. Depth charts. They got Kirk Cousins starting. They've already announced that. Genty, Mike Washington second. You got Trey Tucker, Jalen Naylor, Jack Betch, Dante Thornton Jr. Like I just don't see it. You got Brock Bowers here, Michael Mayer, Michael Mayer. I mean, the O line got better. Yes, Linderbaum was an upgrade. These guys are decent, but like sometimes you put together a O line that doesn't always work out. They don't mesh well. Also, you got to have good coaches. They just got new coaches. It's a good coach, but I mean, I just don't see it with the. Yeah, see, I'm hoping with real coaches, the youth on the team can click. Plus, maybe the O line could take a step forward. Yeah, if that the coaches can actually get them to stick together and build as a team and all buy into one system, and they have a good O line coach that can make them mesh well, it'd be great. The Carrolls was killing us big time. Yes, he was stuck in his old ways, and that was bad for y'all. I see him be out beaten. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that statement means. Him be out beating Lob or whatever that name is. Carroll got too old. Hall of Fame, yes, but that ship sailed years ago. Yeah, it definitely did. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. Um, but he's stuck in he was stuck in his ways, and I think that's why the defense didn't do well, and also the offense didn't click at all because he thought the way he ran that offense in Seattle would work the same way that it works now, and it just doesn't. He didn't have a Russell Wilson that was in prime Russ form that could extend plays, and he didn't have Marshawn Lynch. And also, he didn't have O line that he had for the run game. I know back then with the Seahawks, the passing of the O line, like the pass block wasn't that good, but he always had a good run block. So maybe with their upgrade and the money that they spent, maybe their team would get better. Cause yeah, they got Darian Porter, they got Jeremy Chin, Eric Stokes, Quay Walker, Nakobe Dean, Max Crosby. They got some names on defense that are good, but like, can it all mesh together and can they have an actual scheme that works? I don't know. But that's going to conclude the stream, I think. One more look at the rankings of the quarterback rankings and the running back rankings. I got to start getting set up for my stream with Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm going to be on at 7 o'clock on the dot this time. Promise. I use PFF to custom more according to my league. Okay, you get more information from that. If it works for you, it works. Thanks, man. Great info today. Really appreciate it. No problem, Dad. But yeah, I will. So my schedule for the fantasy football thing. Am I going to be back on stream today? Yes, I'm going to be back on stream today at 7. At 7, I'm going to be on streaming Red Dead Redemption 2, and I'll be finishing the second chapter and possibly starting part of chapter 3, depending on how long it takes me to finish the second chapter. But I don't want to rush anything in the game, so I want to actually take my time and actually have fun with it. So I'm gonna set up for that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get ready. More fantasy, please. More. Yes, I'm gonna do more fantasy. I think I'm gonna do like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. What's today? Is today Thursday? Okay, so I'm gonna be back on tomorrow at 3 o'clock to do more fantasy football rankings. I'm gonna do tight end, receiver, defense, special teams, and kicker rankings tomorrow at 3 o'clock. I'll be back tomorrow at 3, and we'll get that going, and I'll do that. But I'm gonna do next week. I'm gonna take Saturday, Sunday off to get more like information about things on the fantasy football thing, and I'm gonna do Monday, Wednesday, Friday on from now on with the fantasy football. And if there's more information, I'll do more at 3 o'clock. But I will definitely be back tomorrow though, at 3:30 or 3:30 to do the fantasy football. But I will be streaming every day at 7, somewhere around like 7:30 to do gaming. So if that y'all wanted to tune into that too later on today, that'd be great. If you guys don't want to and you only like the fantasy football, that's fine too. Stick around for that. I'll be doing that also in the future. But if y'all would like to come around 7, I will be streaming Red Dead Redemption 2, and I hope that y'all enjoyed the stream. Thank y'all for being around. Thank y'all for asking questions and tuning in. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.